All righty, here we go. Another vid for ya. Good stuff, right? All right, well, we're moving into your one on linear equations. All righty. We did a little bit of this year, so I don't know why I have headphones on. So shouldn't be completely new. But let's jump into it, huh? All right. So I'm just making sure it sounds on. First part of your little worksheet says find the slope and y-intercept of each equation. We did something similar to this in class and we did it in different ways. So hopefully that's rememberable. The one on the worksheet though, all you gotta do is we want to get these in slope-intercept. Okay. This first one's really easy. Remember slope-intercept. Sorry, maybe I'll. Whoop, thing froze there for a second. Okay, slope-intercept is just y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So all your problems in your worksheet kind of deal with slope-intercept and not point slope, but hey, it's good practice. So again, on this first one, all we're going to do is we're going to add 5 to both sides. Okay, and we end up with y equals 2x plus 5. So our slope, remember m is slope again, so our slope is 2. And our y-intercept, which is represented by b, would be 5. So that's just a really easy remember how this works kind of problem. If we have something like this, right, we got to do a couple steps. We're going to subtract the 5. We still want to get y by itself because that's slope-intercept form. So we get 5y equals negative 3x minus 5. And then divide everything by 5, and we get y equals negative 3/5 x minus 1. So in this case, our slope is 3/5, negative 3/5, sorry. And our y-intercept is negative 1. So really easy on those first 6 problems you got there. You're just converting it over to slope-intercept, and then listing out the slope and the y-intercept. Next one is something we did not really do much this year, okay? Usually this year we got an equation or we got 2 points, remember? We used slope formula to find the missing point. On this one, we are given a line, just straight up given a line, and asked to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So there's a couple different ways we could do this. The first one would just be, here's our y-intercept, okay, on this first one. So we know that it's going to be at least y equals mx. And then that's a negative 3 is our y-intercept. So it's going to be y equals mx minus 3, okay? So you could start there. And then for the slope, I mean, you could just count up and over. A lot of you know how to do that because that's what your teachers in middle school taught you. So you could just count up and over. We go up 3 and over 6. So maybe that's the easiest way to do it. You're not always going to have nice round numbers though. Like these ones it's not always going to be nice. I guess that's where I'd be a little cautious. But if you did that, we went up 3 over 6, that's 1/2. So we get 1/2 x minus 3. So that could be just a little way that you find these equations. On the second one, maybe we do it a different way. So maybe we say, okay, our y-intercept is 2. So we can at least write y equals mx plus 2. But maybe let's pretend our numbers weren't nice. I mean, again, you could count down and over, right? But let's say our numbers weren't nice. How would we find the slope? Well, we could use our good old slope formula. Y is on top because it's rise over run. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. And we just pick 2 points, right? So this point is 0, 2. Okay, and then our next point is 3, 0. Again, maybe this seems a little silly. You just count it. It's good practice, though. So our slope here, if we do x1, y1, remember, label your points. Good idea to always label your points so you keep everything cool. So we got x1, y1, and x2, y2. So our slope is going to be 0 minus 2 over 3 minus 0. Okay, and that's going to, if we're careful with the negatives, that's going to give us negative 2 over 3. So we get y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 2. Okay? Again, not super crazy, but we're just trying to get you back into remembering how to do all this stuff. Lastly, and again, we did a little bit of this, but lastly, we want to graph the linear equation. Again, multiple ways you can do this. So you're just going to want to, sorry, excuse me. Some of you are just going to want to do it the old way. So 1 is our y-intercept. So we got a point there. And now we could just count up 2 over 3. So we could just go up 2 over 1, 2, 3, make a point. Up 2 over 1, 2, 3, make a point. And we could also go backwards. If we go backwards, we're going to go down 2 over 3 to the left. Right? So this could be your line. Sorry, I'm not going to draw it super straight. That could be your line. You can draw it straighter than I can. So you could do it that way. That'd be one way to do it. Another way that might be useful to think about graphing for next year is you could make a table, okay? So we could have like a little table here. Whoa, what the heck were you doing there, pen? We could have a little table, and we could have our x value, and then we can have our equation, and then that will give us our y value. The equation is y equals, so whatever we put in for x will give us our value. And again, you might have to do this on some trickier problems next year instead of just being able to count up and over, right? Or slopes might not always be nice. Other things might not be nice. So if we just wanted to do like 0, 1, 2, 3, you know, just get like 4 points, right? And then we plug it in. So it's, I'll do the first one. It's negative 2 times 0 plus 4. And that output, which is 4, gives us our y, right? So the next one would be negative 2 times 1 plus 4, which would be negative 2 plus 4, which would be 2. We see how this is going? We could do the next one, should give us 0, and then we should get negative 2. And so then each of these is a point. This is another way you could do this instead of just putting on your y-intercept and counting. It kind of gives you the same thing, but if it's a harder problem. Okay, so we get that point, and then we get 1, 2, and then we get 2, 0, and then we get negative. Well, I missed something, didn't I? No, I didn't. And then we get 3, negative 2. So this is another way you could make. We'll try a straighter line. There you go. Put arrows on your lines. So that's another way that you could graph it, is using a table method. And hopefully you remember how to do that. That's pretty useful. Boom. So there we go. A little bit of graphing. Hopefully you can fly through those problems. Again, these worksheets aren't super crazy, but hopefully it's just making you feel good about where you're at in algebra and getting ready for your next year. We'll see you later.